Hello, everybody. What's up? Today, we're going to talk about something different, something I never talked about before, but I've been really wanting to. So, here we go. Tarot, right? A lot of people are into it. Most people think it's whatever. I love it. I love it. I work with tarot cards. I don't do it professionally. I don't charge people. There's this part of me, my moon Capricorn still wants, something tangible like a chart and lots of like intricate thinking to be able to read some sort of energy. But that being said, every time I work with tarot, I'm like, why did I study astrology for so many years if these little cards are working so well? Not to undermine tarot. Tarot is very, I'd say, easy to learn, but difficult to master, just like most things and just like astrology. But at the same time, you really need to understand these archetypes and the cards and everything. So, my journey with tarot started, who knows, maybe like 6, 7 years ago when I had a past life regression session with someone I worked with in Turkey, in Istanbul. And as part of the session, she drew a card for me, and that was the first card that was ever, brought up to me by someone. And she said, "Okay, work with this card." And I'm like, "What do you mean, work with this card?" She was like, "Well, just put it in your altar and think about this, meditate on this, etc., etc." So I was like, "Okay, this is interesting." And that card was the Lover's card, which we can talk about that in another video. It's like a whole crazy story. So since then, I've been always working with, I call them period cards. For different periods, I draw a card for myself. I do a little ritual, and then I read the description, and from that day forward, I try to embody that energy. I try to see that, and of course, life brings me so much to learn regarding that card, that archetype, whatever that theme is all about. So when the period ends, which energetically I understand, like, okay, now I understand what this card was trying to tell me at this point in my life. It comes to an end, and I do another ritual, and I draw another card. Sometimes this is a couple of weeks, sometimes it's a couple of months. You never know, which is a very interesting way of working with tarot that I really, really enjoy myself. And I just drew a new period card last week. I knew it was time for like almost 10 days or so, but I just didn't have time to do my ritual and all that. But the new card I'm working with is the Emperor card, number 4. I'm using Thoth Tarot deck. The classical one, I could never build a connection with that one, but Thoth Tarot is really speaking to my soul. I really enjoy it. And this is what my teacher was using when I took the tarot course from him, and he said, "I work with Thoth Tarot. Please get that deck." And I was like, "Okay, this is good. This is a good sign." So, what is Emperor? This is interesting because it's the sign equivalent to Emperor is the sign of Aries, and I'm a triple Aries, and Aries is energy I really understand. I need to learn because my North Node is in Aries also. And this is very funny because I worked with this card almost like 2 months ago when I went to Vipassana, right? I was very interested, I drew the card right before Vipassana. I was like, okay, this is very interesting. I wonder what the theme is going to be about. And I thought because of Aries, it's going to be like, oh, okay, I'm going to Vipassana. I'm going to find myself. I'm going to be alone with myself and all that. Little did I know, My father is also triple Aries, and even more stronger than my energy because my Sun, Jupiter, and North Node are in Aries, but my father is Sun, Moon, and Mars in Aries, so he's a lot more Aries than I am. And I went to Vipassana and I had to face my father and all the ways he was being Aries when I was a kid, which was not necessarily always the best thing, best energy. He's a very aggressive guy, let's say. He has anger issues and all that stuff. So I had to face all that anger that was inherited in me, all that anger that I had to witness when I was a kid, and it was a very intense Vipassana experience that I wasn't really expecting. I was like, okay, this is the Emperor card. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna realize I'm the king. Whatever, you know. Um, yeah, it was very difficult. But after that, I had to work with the death card, which I don't necessarily hate the death card. Like people hear death and they're like scared, but no, you know, death is necessary. Things need to die in you. And now we're back at the Emperor card again. So okay, Emperor, death, Emperor. So this is like a huge theme of rebirth, right? So what I've known from my father, Aries archetype to be, had to die. And after that death, I literally felt like I went through some sort of dying experience. Part of me really died. Definitely, I can tell you that. And then we're back at this again. So this is the newborn emperor. This is the new cycle. This is the new way of understanding the emperor energy, which has a lot to do again with you know, Aries, but at the same time it's about assertion, it's about your power. It is the, you know, strongest card on this reality, right? 3D realm. These are not the archetypes of the cosmos. And you know, the Emperor card is really starting to work. And last week, on the weekend, actually, I had to use this card in a different way, which is what I wanted to talk about. So I was at a festival, which there was so much fiery energy going on last weekend. You know, Mars in Leo, Venus in Aries, you know, and they were touching really important points in my chart where I was feeling this like confidence. Um, I had a really nice evening, except for one incident. I don't want to go into much detail, but it was a personal relationship with someone, and this person came up to me there and he started talking to me. And this is someone I didn't want to talk, and I made it very clear. And I was trying to avoid him, and he was up in my face talking to me. It was a very awkward and very uncomfortable situation. So I closed my eyes, I started taking deep breaths, and I said, okay, channel your inner emperor, Umut. You're working with this card, it must be for a reason. And I asked myself, what would an emperor do at this point, right? In this kind of situation, what are you gonna do? Are you gonna lose your shit? Are you gonna lose your cool? Are you gonna act like your father, start getting angry, have a fight, maybe even like a physical fight, because it was a very pushy person and a very uncomfortable situation? And then suddenly I started relaxing and I started, you know, taking deep breaths, and I started smiling and I started even dancing. I said, you're an emperor. If you're an emperor, you're not gonna let this person to get you. If you're gonna be a king, if you're gonna be an emperor, if you're gonna be famous, whatever it is that card represents, you can't let, you know, small things get to you. You can't let anyone who wants to fight you and fight back with them. And this was a very profound experience for me. This was very interesting. This was a very you know, good way of working with this card and channeling its energy. Some of the things on an emotional level, strong desires, you know, aspiring, charismatic, finding higher vision in life, self-discipline. These are all the good stuff that you can learn with this card. So yeah, that's what I wanted to share.